So Paul, you know what's weird?
What?
The nostalgic feeling you get. So yesterday I was in Oxford, and that's
Right.
where we
Yeah.
went to university, and just driving through town. And of course, last time we were there, it was very different due to the pandemic, right?
Mhm.
And
we
I
were in
was-
school.
We were in school, and no one was out of it was all in your houses and all that stuff. And I was driving through Uptown on High Street, and just like the nostalgic feeling you get is so weird. Have you ever thought about the feeling itself? Like, why do we get nostalgic? You drive past a certain house, and then millions and millions of memories just fly through your brain.
I don't know, but like you also feel something in your body. Like I don't know if it's a chemical.
I don't
Is
know.
it-
It's a weird
But I know what
feeling.
you're talking about. It's such a weird feeling.
And you walk by a few houses, nothing. All of a sudden, you see this one little random, I don't know, bench, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, all those memories right there."
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just weird how the brain works and how you look back and remember all these like million micro moments in a second, and then they're gone the next day.
Yeah. Like you look back at a picture
Mm-hmm.
from your childhood and you immediately are taken back to
Yeah.
that very moment that the picture was taken.
Mm-hmm. But when it's not there, all those memories are closed, and it's just so weird to me. But
Yeah.
just wanted to bring that up real fast. I just it was on my mind, but
It's as if your brain just like opens for like a split
Mhm.
second and like digs out those memories and then
Yeah.
brings them to your
you
attention
just get
and
so
then they go back in and the door closes.
yeah, and then poof, next
Poof.
day, gone
Yeah.
until you see that random bench again. Well, anyway, guys, welcome back to the Unaware Podcast,
What's up,
the
guys?
show where we just talk about the idea that it's okay to go unaware. It's okay not to know. It's okay just to strive and chase new things. But
Yeah.
as always, it is your hosts, Andrew Ludy.
And your homie, Paul Canner.
Ah, nice. I know last week we didn't have an episode. That is mainly due to me getting teeth ripped out of my face, so I did not
You
really
look like
have
a
time.
chipmunk, buddy.
I did look like a chipmunk for a week. It took a week for the swelling to go down, which was a bit of a bummer, but we are back. I am feeling good. My jaw's a little sore still.
I'm back too.
Yeah, Paul's back. We'll get into that in a little bit. So it's a good time. We're happy to be here. We're happy to be back, and I'm excited for today. So
Yeah, me
today
too.
we're actually going to be talking about the benefits of going unaware and really why you should and why this is our thing, our philosophy, our foundation. The word unaware. We're going to talk about the benefits of it. So kind of to start, I wanted to go into a bit of the last time we went unaware, right? And so I'm actually going to toss it over to you, Paul. I don't know if you're prepared, but when was the last
I'm
time
never prepared.
you went unaware?
The last time I went underwear, I almost said underwear.
Dude, I'm telling you, I want to make the unaware underwear because it just works.
Unaware. Last time I went unaware was last month. Me and Ludi and a couple of our friends, Micah and Toshi,
Mhm.
we were playing disc golf and we decided to go rock climbing afterwards. And I've never really been rock climbing
Mhm.
like this. Like, it was a facility. They had
Mhm. A
rock
huge gym.
walls
Yep.
all over the place. They had
bouldering
bouldering.
gym.
I've never done bouldering before.
Yeah, they have top rope, they have auto belay, they have lead climb, and they have bouldering.
Yeah.
All in there. It's actually a really
Just
nice facility.
all things that I've never attempted before. And I had an absolute blast doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little out of shape, so
Rock climbing kicks your
very-
butt,
Yeah,
man.
it really does.
Um,
Also, the shoes don't fit me, so
Well,
if I'm
they're
gonna-
meant to be really tight.
no. Not like this.
Not
It
for
was-
beginners. I'll let you for beginners. You don't really like them
Andrew?
tight, but I'm telling you, professional rock climbers have their toes literally pinched all the way, like almost underneath their foot, because you can get traction when pushing off on the raw. But yeah, you have to buy
Andrew,
your own
I'm telling you, the shoes did not fit.
pair. The shoe ain't it, huh?
Like, I got a 15.
Yeah.
Right? Even my 15s I wear now, like my tennis shoes,
Mm-hmm.
are still sometimes too tight.
Yeah. Well, rock climbing shoes run small
I know.
on purpose. Like I had to get a 11. I normally wear 10s.
So I should get a 16 since I
Yeah.
wear 15.
Yeah.
So they
Depends
were
on the
too
brand
small.
though. So we need to go. I wonder if REI has some.
Yeah.
Because you need to try them on. That's what I learned. I bought shoes offline. They did not fit.
Okay.
So we gotta try them
So
on.
I would do that.
Yeah. So you enjoyed it.
But
though.
yeah, I enjoyed it, and honestly, it's led me to develop probably a new hobby in
Mhm.
rock climbing. And I never thought I'd be a rock climber. Like I see all these videos of people rock climbing, going to like New River Gorge, Red River
Yeah.
Gorge, and like doing like actual climbs there.
Mhm.
And I'm like, that's so cool. I want to do that.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm considering getting like a membership to
You
that.
should.
thing.
You might
Yeah.
could go at least once a week.
Yeah. So
I'd be a blast if you came. We're probably gonna work on getting our lead climb certification because you want to have that before you go actual like canyon climbing and like out in the gorge. That's where you actually climb up with the rope with you and you clip it into the anchor points, which is really cool.
I would love to do that.
It's a different beast though, because if you get up to the point, you have to be so stable to put in the rope, right? And if you fall, you're gonna fall a decent bit till your last anchor point.
Yeah.
So it's how far up you go. It's a different animal.
It's a whole different animal.
But I mean, they have a class there, and everyone there is so awesome. And they go out and climb out at the gorge, or they take trips, out west too.
Absolutely.
As a people, there's a big group me that they're in. So yeah, if you join, you should.
Yeah, I mean, I'm heavily considering it.
Yeah, you should. I think so.
So that was the last time I think I went unaware.
Yeah. I like that, and we'll kind of talk a little bit more in here soon about kind of that feeling you felt from doing that and what happened after. But I think for me, actually, I have another story for you. That
really?
So for people listening, you're not gonna hear my story yet because it has implications about my future. But you're gonna hear Paul's response.
Oh, what?
And then in the future, I will play this later on. I'll come back to this and play it.
Interesting.
Just stick with me, guys. Trust me. So I'm gonna edit here. But yeah, that's what's happening. So
Huge.
I'm doing it.
Wow, dude.
Doing it. But all right, I'll let the audience back in now.
So is it just gonna be me talking? And
No.
A bunch of silence.
No. We're just gonna cut that. Without giving it away, how do you feel about what I just said, Paul?
Oh my God. That's the coolest thing I've ever heard. And I'm jealous that I'm not doing that, honestly.
Well,
but it's something that Andrew has been wanting to do for a long time, and he's going for it.
I'm going unaware.
He's going unaware. The definition of going unaware right here.
When I do
Andrew's
it,
about to do.
I will. I mean, it's gonna be all about Project Unaware. So that's what helps push me to chase things like that. But for the audience to actually hear a real story of mine of the last time I went unaware, I do want to talk about my time in Seattle. So I know a few episodes ago, I think I talked about it, how I, on Instagram, there was a group of Yes Theory fans of Laney, and they were from all over the world. And the one guy said he already had tickets in Seattle and said anyone is welcome to join him. We've never talked, never met. I messaged back saying, "You serious?" He goes, "Yeah, I can pick you up and you can stay with me." So I bought the ticket. How many times we talked between the 3-month period? Once. And it's just me sliding up on a story saying, "Oh, I'm jealous because he went to a Quinn concert."
Yeah.
That's it. So then I fly into Seattle, we didn't talk. They pick me up. So him and his roommate, he also met through Yes Theory, Alex and Vince, they're phenomenal guys. And from the moment I got in the car, right, they're the type of dudes that have no wall. It was instantly so welcoming and like just friends.
Yeah.
From the moment they saw him. Like some people can be weird. It could have been awkward. It could have been horrible. They could have murdered me. I don't know. But I wasn't worried about that. I just knew I was going to Seattle. If they ended up not picking me up, okay, I get a hotel. It's fine. I can figure it out. but they did, and it ended up being such a fun trip, and I got to meet so many awesome people. And now I have friends in LA and San Diego and San Francisco and Portland and Seattle, and all these people are like, bro, you need to come down again and visit our cities. And I'm like, what just happened? I just met so many people, and now we're best friends. Like, one guy was on, that wasn't FaceTime. I think it was Instagram's FaceTime thing. And he's in LA. He was coming up the week after for their Friendsgiving, but he's a musician who's also a teacher. And I met him, and he's like, tell me a little bit about yourself. So I did. And then he wrote a song and sang it to me. It was about me, just on the spot, on this thing. And he's like, dude, you got to come to LA. I'm like, I will now. You sung me a song. And we just went and adventured and had so much fun.
Yeah.
And that would have never happened because I didn't know him. I mean, there are so many people, you could say there's so many red flags, right? Never met these people. I'm flying across the freaking nation. It's not something that's normal, right? Or it doesn't
Right.
really make sense to a lot of people up in the head, which I get. But it was something that I think pushed me out of my comfort zone, something that I wanted to do, and so I did it. And I think that was truly the last time I really went unaware. But I kind of want to transition now.
Can I stop you for a second?
Yeah, go for it.
Are we recording?
On my laptop.
Okay.
Mm.
I was like, there's no.
Yeah, no, I forgot to click that, but I have it on my laptop.
Okay.
So now I kind of want to transition into the feeling side of unaware, because I do think at the end of the day that is a huge benefit. That feeling you get from going unaware, from trying new things, from just taking that first step and going for it. So for me, since I just talked about Seattle, how I felt from it, the feelings of it, is so exciting and riveting. It's like this bliss, you know. I can kind of compare it to jumping out of a plane. It's just this free fall and relaxing moment that right as soon as you're doing it, you know, when you take that decision, you take that step. When I got off the plane and you're going to do it, it's exciting. It's like you're a little kid and you're getting giddy and you're in a candy shop and you're like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. That's how it feels.
Yeah.
Especially because you want to do it. You've always wanted to do it. You've always wanted to try this new thing or whatever it is, and you're finally starting to do it. That's so exciting. And so for me to go to Seattle, which is a place I've always wanted to visit, hang out with people I've never met, it was getting my heart beating, and I just couldn't help but smile and enjoy it. And just, I mean, now it's nostalgia, right? Looking back on it, it's like, man, those were good days. That was a good trip.
Good memories.
Good memories. And so for me, like when I go unaware, when people go unaware, it's blissful. It's happy. It's joyful. You let loose. The stress just lets go. But what about you?
I mean, I would agree with that. I feel like, well, with rock climbing, something I've never really done before, and I'm kind of afraid of heights sometimes.
You're going up 40, 50 feet on these walls.
I know, like these are some high walls. I mean, I've done like the YMCA rock climbing walls, but that was nothing compared to this. And when I was up there, it seemed like nothing else mattered. Cause I'm just like, I'm climbing. I'm frightened right now, but like it's okay because I know I'm safe, but I'm also not sure if I'm safe.
like
obviously I trust the belay system, but at the
you
same
have to
time,
let go.
I don't trust the belay system.
So, cause I didn't belay you that day, right?
No. I was
you
doing
did the auto
automatic.
blaze.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I got up there and I didn't get to the top. I was so
That's
close.
okay.
I was
Dead.
I was in my head.
Tired.
I wasn't even like, obviously I was exhausted, but I was in my head about falling back down or like just pushing off the wall and like slowly lowering down.
Mm-hmm.
That was in my head the whole time. I'm like, I'm not going to be able to do this. I feel like I'm still going to fall. it was crazy, but at the same time, I'm like, this is very enjoyable, and I like trying new things. So when I try new things, I just feel like really good, and like I said, nothing else matters. I'm like, this is what I'm doing right now. This is all I'm doing. All the stresses of life, stressing about work, that kind of stuff, it's pointless when I'm rock climbing. So, and like I'm excited for the opportunity to develop like a new hobby.
It's an addicting one. I won't lie to you.
Dude,
with my wisdom teeth surgery,
I'm
I was
already
sitting
wanting
there
to go back.
itching.
I want to go back right now.
Well, next time me and Micah go, you're more than welcome to come.
Oh, let me know.
Yeah, start looking for shoes.
Oh yeah.
No, on REI, I'm a member, but we can talk about that after the pod. To add on to the rock climbing aspect of the feelings, and just to play into that little fear you had, I'll give you this. There's a couple feet that you got to let go that it doesn't hook in yet.
I know.
Especially at the top.
I know, yeah.
And even my first time when I got up there, I looked down, I'm like, all right, I just gotta let go. And I mean, you're pretty high up.
It took
and
me,
that feeling hits.
It took me about 3 minutes once I got up there to
Really
actually get the courage to fall.
Oh, I was helping Micah get belay certified.
You guys were over there. Me and Toshi were doing the auto belays. Toshi was already down. You guys like kind of looked up and waved at me. I had already been there for like at least a minute at that same spot, just like contemplating trying to fall.
So what got you over that? What let you just let go?
Honestly, I just let go. I just did it. I was like, I can do this. I'm gonna be okay. And if not, there's mats down there to catch. Maybe I break a few bones, but
you won't die. Yeah, those mats are thick.
Yeah. But honestly, it was just constantly trying to talk to myself and being like, there's nothing to worry about. Like you'll be fine. People do this all the time. They don't get hurt. Like you're literally hooked in, and you won't fall. So I was just constantly reminding myself that I was going to be okay.
I think that's a good analogy for just the whole action of going unaware. I say that because you're climbing, right? And all of a sudden you get to this moment where you got to commit. You got to commit to being okay with not knowing the outcome. You have to commit to trusting yourself that you're going to be okay.
Yeah, trust was a big thing.
You got to build up confidence to just, and it's so ironic because all you do is let go. It is that simple. But yet you get to that moment, and for you, and for me, and probably for most rock climbers on their first climb ever, you hit this wall of emotion. And you start thinking, and you're thinking, and you're thinking, and then you get inside yourself, and you're like, I can't let go, I can't do it, I can't take this step. And then, we talked about it a little bit ago, community, and that's where people can come in and say, hey, man, you can. But also in that moment, no one was there.
Also, exactly. You. No one was watching me. No one was like encouraging me. It was just me.
Sometimes in life, that's how it's going to be. And you just got to let go. And I know that's crazy because it's something you could say it's easier said than done. But I'd argue all you have to do is cut the complications and make it simple. Do I let go or do I not?
Yeah.
Don't worry about the outcome so much. Everyone else sits there and says, well, what if this happens? Or what if I fall this far before it engages? Or what if it doesn't work? Or what if your choices are, Paul, like realistically in that moment, you can climb back down the wall or you can let go. But you got to come down some point.
Yeah. Once I was up there, I'm like, I got to get down somehow.
And to apply that to life for people going unaware or just chasing their dreams or trying new things, you want to do it at some point, right? Everyone always says, "Oh, maybe tomorrow," or "Well, when the timing's right," or "Next year I'm going to do this."
Maybe I'll come down tomorrow.
But at the end of the day, you're up there now, and you have the option to let go. You have the option to start something new or to chase that dream. And it doesn't have to be 0 to 100. It can be as simple as just letting go and taking the first step. Yeah, it's scary. For rock climbing, you look down, you're high up. It's kind of scary. Also, you're holding on to the one thing that's keeping you safe, and you have to let go. You're letting go of your comfort zone. But the best things in life happen outside your comfort zone.
Right.
And so I think that feeling, as soon as you get over that hump, as soon as you decide to just release the rocks and let go, how would you feel in that moment?
Relieved. Accomplished. Because I let go and it just kind of let everything happen as it was happening, honestly. But like with feeling relieved, you just don't really have the stress anymore, like weighing over your head, like as you're just standing up there contemplating whether to come back down. And you're just like excited because you're like, I did it. I accomplished it. I did it. And we're going to see where this journey takes me. As far as like rock climbing goes, I want to do more. I will do more.
Yeah.
I will be climbing again soon.
I would say 10 out of 10 times, if someone gets over that wall of emotion or fear, right? Because it is fear.
I think, let me
Go for it.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
With being up there and having no one watching me, no one encouraging me, I think that's kind of where the fear set in, because I was alone at that moment. No one was pushing me. No one was telling me that everything's going to be okay. And we need that when
Why?
we're going unaware. Do you not agree?
I do. I'm curious on why.
We need it because if we don't have people pushing us, we're not gonna do it. We need people to encourage us and push us in the right direction and push us to take that first step.
I agree. It increases your chances tenfold to try something new when you have community and you have people pushing you. But also, there are going to be times in life that there aren't people there.
That's
there aren't
true.
people that share your dream. There aren't people that can get excited, and some people don't. Some people don't have. They haven't fostered a friendship or friend group like we have that is very encouraging and very like considerate and thoughtful, and they know us and they know our dreams and they push us to that. People don't have that always.
Right.
So to you guys, I would say, one, find new friends. You deserve better. But two, also there is a realistic side of it that there are going to be times, just like you at the top of that wall, that you have to do it alone. And that's okay, because it's still worth it. You still can. And in that moment, you might not have anyone. But then as soon as you get back down, what happened? Oh, eventually me, Micah, and Toshi came up to you, and we all started climbing and doing little things together.
Yeah.
There are going to be times you have to be by yourself. And to start off going unaware, I think it is good. I mean, blanket statement, you're more likely to do it if someone's with you. I think you summed it up well, Paul.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
And so for someone who's new to chasing new dreams and taking risks and going for it, find someone who cares about you, tell them what's up, bring them along. But down the road, you can get to a point where
you
it
don't
becomes
need
your
them.
lifestyle. And now it becomes helping people, helping others push themselves. You can do things by yourself, or you can just text someone and say, hey, you want to come? If they say no, okay. If they say yeah, they come along.
Do it.
Exactly. You can get to this point where you're now so confident in yourself that, hey, for rock climbing metaphors, you climb up to a wall and you let go. Because you trust it. You've done it. You've now landed and you sit there and you're like, why was I so scared? Why did that fear hold me up there? But that's only happens when you get to the bottom and you can sit and take a step back and you have perspective. You'll never get there if you never let go. And I would say 10 out of 10 times, everyone who gets to the bottom has that same thought of, why was I so scared?
Yeah.
Now, the outcome of it of, I love rock climbing or I don't think this is for me, that can differ. But you're never going to know that answer until you let go.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is one of the greatest benefits of going unaware is you figure out what you want to do. You know where you want to go. And that feeling aspect of it, you know, you're climbing up the wall, you're getting excited, you get to that wall of failure, and then you let go and you're relieved. It's a roller coaster.
Yeah, it is.
But when you're at the bottom, you feel achievement, you feel glory, you know? I think it's a very good emotional roller coaster. In anything. Doesn't have to be rock climbing.
Yeah. I mean,
It could be art. It
with,
could be whatever.
with skydiving, you were
Mhm.
talking about how, like, you can ask someone to go with you, but if they say no, then you're just gonna go do it yourself,
Mhm.
and you do that all the time.
I have started just doing things.
It's like, I'm gonna do this regardless.
Yeah. I mean, I always ask. I always put it out there, and I try to be the person that isn't, I guess you could say, toxic about it. Like, oh, if you don't come, I'm gonna be upset. Or really, just me. It's sitting there offering a invitation of, hey, you can come. I'd love for you to come. But if you don't, that's okay. I'm still gonna go. Like I know with skydiving, I've invited all the time, all people, and I know 99% of people will say no. That's okay, but I'm still gonna ask because deep down, I'd love for them to come. I know it helps because then it shows that I care about them, and I'm willing to be like, hey, you can come with me. You don't have to, but I would like you to. And then they know that I care, and they got the invite. You know,
It's kind of how I feel with disc golf.
mm-hmm.
I invite pretty much everyone that I meet,
Uh-huh.
whether they play or not.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're down, sometimes they're not.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go anyway.
Yeah.
By myself.
Yeah, because
it's
you're at that point
something
where you
I
can.
enjoy, and
Mm-hmm.
like I find pleasure in it, and it makes me happy, and it makes me feel like nothing else matters.
And at one point in your life,
It's that bliss. Like I feel bliss when I'm on the disc golf course. I also feel frustration when I hit a tree.
Yes.
But when I've talked about this before, I'm pretty sure,
Mhm.
but like me and Luke bonded over disc golf when Michael passed away,
Mm-hmm.
because like we could just go to the course and just do our thing, and like nothing really mattered. Like all the stresses of life, all the stresses from like work and family and friends and stuff didn't matter because we were playing disc golf.
Mm-hmm. It's hobbies, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
can just do so many wonderful things.
Right.
And at one point in your life, you'd never played disc golf.
Yeah, that's
And
the
you have
thing right there.
That's the thing. For people to develop hobbies or habits or passions or whatever you want to call them, you got to do it. You got to try it at some point.
Yeah, without knowing what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. And there are definitely easier ways, you know, if someone already does it, who you know, that's a great way to do it. Or sometimes, if you've never done it and you don't know anyone who knows, that's hard. But I'm sitting here telling you, go do it anyway. Go unaware.
Yeah, I will.
Now, how do we do that? That is a harder question.
That is.
How do people go unaware? And
I mean, I think we touched on it a little
Mm.
bit when we were talking about have community, have people push you in the right
Mhm.
direction, push you to take that first step. I think that's a huge part of how to go unaware.
yeah. All right. So Paul, let's say you're just sitting here. You're
I
not
am
Paul
just
right
sitting
now.
here.
You're not Paul though.
Okay.
Let's say you're
Joe Schmo.
Alfonso.
Oh, Alfonso.
You're Alfonso.
All right.
And you've always wanted to go surfing. But you don't know anyone who surfs. You have no friends that know that you want to surf.
Yep.
And you've always dreamed of it, though. Where would you start?
So, your co-host, Paul, he has a girlfriend, Leah. She actually did this. She went out to Portland, Oregon, and signed up for a surfing class.
She flew across the nation.
She flew
by
across the
herself.
entire nation by herself.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out, Leah.
I know. She really went unaware.
Yeah, she really did.
I take pride. She did say our podcast inspired her.
I'm
So,
proud of her.
Shout out to you, Leah.
Shout out, Leah. Yeah, so she just decided to do it. She's been wanting to go to Portland, been wanting to go to Washington for a while, and she bought a plane ticket one day. She's like, I'm doing it. Like, I have nothing going on right now. This is the time to do it. She bought the plane ticket, went out there, signed up for a surfing class, and then
Did it.
did it.
I love that.
Yeah.
But now you're Alfonso.
Yeah. That was Paul's girlfriend.
That's Paul's girlfriend. You don't know Paul's girlfriend.
I don't know. I know Paul.
Alfonso doesn't know
He told
Paul.
me the story.
Did he? But
So,
like
me,
realistically,
Alfonso.
Alfonso, like,
Yeah.
I just feel like there's some
first
people
of
out there
all,
who don't have any push or any
Surfing.
encouragement. So,
surfing really only takes place at like the oceans.
well, yeah. Where are
So-
you going with this?
All right. So here's where I'm going with it. Andrew Ludi, podcaster. I have to go somewhere where there's water to surf. That's one step. I have to find where there is to surf. Maybe I look up some YouTube videos so I'm not completely clueless when I go out there. Whether it's east or west, I don't know. They have surfing on both coasts, right?
Yes. In the Gulf.
And the Gulf. Everywhere there's big bodies of water pretty much.
I think the best surf though is out west,
Out
and
west.
Hawaii. I think has the even better surf.
So let's just say I want to surf, but I want to do it in Hawaii because I want to go to Hawaii for other reasons. Because it's Hawaii, right?
Simple enough.
Simple enough. So I book a plane ticket to Hawaii. But like, how do I just up and leave? That's the question. Find time to take off work or quit your job. Don't quit your job. I'm not telling you to quit your job.
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
If you quit your job and life turns out miserable, it was not because of us.
Yep. Yeah, so somehow I find time to go out to Hawaii. I get there, find the surfing club thing. I don't know.
Just go to a beach.
Yeah, go to a
Guarantee
beach.
there's
Oh yeah, go to a beach.
And you'll find
Rent
people.
a surfboard. I'm sure. I'm like 99% sure that I don't know if it's just in TV shows or movies, but there's like surf shacks.
There are, especially if there's a surf area.
Yeah.
There was
Go to a
when I
surf
went to
shack.
Australia,
Go to a surf shack. Rent a board.
and just do it.
Just do it. Or you can take classes like that girl Leah did.
That random chick that we don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think where it gets hard for people is just committing.
Yeah.
You know, and I think there are a lot of options you can take. You know, you said watch YouTube on it. That amps you up. That gets you excited. If that gets you excited enough to go buy a ticket, then do it. Or if you just want to say screw it and buy a ticket and just fly over there and figure it out, you can do that. Or you can plan an entire trip itinerary day by day.
Yep.
Like,
it just really depends on like what kind of person you are.
Exactly.
Are you a planner or are you like really spontaneous and like go do whatever and figure out as you go?
Because what I'm trying to get at is to go unaware. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to do what or how I live, and generally that means I buy a ticket or I fly somewhere, drive somewhere, and just figure out where I go when I'm there. Like, yeah, I have general ideas of, oh, maybe I want to do this, but I'm okay with not having a plan. I'm also okay with having a plan, but I know there are people that die hard need a plan.
Mm-hmm.
And you can still go unaware to do that, because unaware is not necessarily just the fact that you're going and not having an idea of what's going to happen. You can still plan. Really, the idea of going unaware is that feeling of trying something new or chasing your dreams, going to Hawaii if you always want to go to Hawaii. It's just doing it. It's committing. It's getting past that first step. It's taking that baby step and just going and buying a ticket. The rest you can plan. You can figure out, or you can do spontaneous. You can, however you are
That's
of
true.
a person, whether you need people, convince people to come. All we're talking about is to go unaware. All you got to do is take that first step that lets everything else after come easy. Which is ironic because the first step is technically the easiest. But mentally, emotionally, the hardest thing to do.
Yeah.
To let go of the rock, to jump out of a perfectly good airplane, to say yes to driving an hour to there, to try this new food, to fly to Hawaii, whatever it is, to buy a guitar, go to Guitar Center and even try strumming a guitar for the first time. Just doing the action that sets up the entire thing you've always wanted to do is the hardest thing. And so to go unaware is just to say, you know what, I'm going to do it and commit to that first step. And that, I think, lays the path for everything else. And it is simple, right?
Yeah.
And
it's simple, but
we make
get
it
in
hard.
Your head.
We make it hard.
Make it hard.
I was in Oxford yesterday, and I was having a conversation with the guy. And he was talking to me about, I wish I could do this, and I wish I could be this person, and I wish, and I wish, and I wish, and I wish, and it just kept coming. And I sat there and listened to what he had to say, where he wanted to go, and I stopped him. I'm like, listen, man, you are thinking 100 years in the future right now. To get where you want to go, to be that person you want to be, to inflict that change you want to happen, what are you going to do tomorrow? You have to be confident in yourself, because you're sitting here telling me you're worried about what these people think and how this impacts you. You can't worry about that. You can't care about it. You can't fly forward and think about the what ifs. You have to worry about now. All right, how do I grow myself? How do I become confident to become the leader I want to be? Start with tomorrow. Start with what your priorities are. Start with who you are. Stop worrying about the things all the way down the line.
Yeah.
And, he sat there and was like, well, but this, and but this, and but this. But I'm, dude, what are your priorities? I don't know. What do you care about? I don't know. Like, what do you want to become? I don't know. Okay, figure that out. The rest will happen. People will gravitate to you if you're confident about who you are, about your mission, about what you want. You don't have to sit there and try and be something that you want people to come to. That's never going to work. And so I don't know. It's just like, you got to take it easy sometimes, and you got to start with those baby steps. Because if you get so lost in the future, you're going to get overwhelmed. You're going to be terrified of the billions and billions of outcomes that could happen. That doesn't matter. Just be unaware. Worry about tomorrow and figure it out. Take it easy, really. Just like it is as simple as you make it. Sleaze. It really, like, we need to make things more simple.
Why do we make everything so hard?
That is a good question, and I don't have the answer. I mean, I have my guts. I have my gut answer and my logical answer of, well, maybe society and how we were raised, but realistically, each human is different. And it could be a chemical in our brain. It could be whatever. But we overcomplify. That's not a word.
Overcomplicate.
Overcomplicate. Literally complify. I'll start saying that.
Put it on a t-shirt.
Put it on a t-shirt. We just make everything so complicated. And we add so many things attached to something when it doesn't need to.
A lot of it is mental.
Yeah. It's the
like
hardest
majority of it is mental. You get in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
You start thinking about all the outcomes. You start thinking about
how
the what ifs.
People will see you, what people will think. Like when you add other people into it too, it changes.
You start feeling like people are judging you, and you don't need to care about that.
You don't, but we do.
But we do.
And so my advice of how to go unaware is try to cut as much of that out of your life. Try to make your decision as simple as possible. So you're up there at the top of the wall. Do I let go or do I hold on? That's all you have to decide in the moment. Don't worry about where the things will take you. Because then you just vision opens up so much and you're like, crazy. No, fine tune and simplify that one decision. Start there. That's how I say go unaware.
Yeah, like your first step doesn't have to be some big elaborate buying of a plane ticket. It could just be finding the plane ticket.
Yeah. Googling flights. Opening up your laptop.
Figuring out where you want to go.
It's baby step. It's as simple as you're going to make it.
Opening your laptop.
Opening your laptop. Getting your laptop out of, you could go as far as down as you want. But at the end of the day,
taking off your backpack that has your laptop in it.
Moving your arm. No, we're not going to keep doing this.
Okay.
At the end of the day, guys, the choice is as simple as you make it. It is, at the end of the day, on you as the individual. People can come in and encourage you, and that's great, and that helps, and it increases your chance 20-fold. I said 10 times before, but I'm moving it up to 20-fold. But you still have to make the decision. You still have to chase it. And that is exciting and awesome and scary and nervous, but it's worth it. Because at the beginning of this episode, we talked about the benefits of unaware, or we talked about how we're going to talk about that. And so I want to get into that. It's worth it because we've already talked about it a little bit. That relieved feeling, the achieved feeling.
Bliss.
True bliss. Joy. All these emotions that you don't experience all the time. Paul, are there other times you feel that? I'm sure there are.
Yeah, there definitely are.
But it's not as common. Like, it doesn't happen, but one way you can guarantee it, at least for me, I see in my life a lot of times when I get those emotions, it's because I was going unaware, because I was trying something new. Would you agree?
Yeah. I going unaware definitely creates these emotions more than just like everyday life.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people hardly feel joy. But when they try something new, you can just tell on their face that something's going on in there.
You see it in their eye.
Yeah, in their eyes.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, something is going on in that brain that is creating new emotions that someone hasn't felt.
Mm-hmm.
in a long time.
It's like it's sparking, you know?
Yeah. Create the spark.
And it's so awesome to watch it. I've always said it, you know, the big reason I wanted to start Project Unaware is at the end of the day to help people do this, to chase their dreams, because everyone's like, man, I want to do it. I want to do this. I want to do that. And they don't. And they're always like, Ludi, how do you do this?
We're talking about it on the podcast.
We're talking about it on the pod. And there's nothing I love more than sitting there and bringing a friend to rock climbing and seeing his face light up with joy because he's like, this is awesome. Like, I'm enjoying it. I'm trying something new. This is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, seeing that happen in people you care about, or even total strangers, it gets me fired up. I love it. And it goes to show how much impact it has on people's life. I truly believe deep down in my heart that when people go unaware, they're being their true selves. Because you said this earlier, when you were up there, nothing else mattered. The stress of life, everything just was gone. It like melted away.
Like you don't even think about it. It's like it doesn't come to your brain at all when you're doing something like that.
So in that moment, it's just Paul. It's not Paul who's a worker, does this, who does that, who's worried about that, who has to pay that. It's just Paul.
I like that.
And you are free to be yourself. And I know I've touched on that with skydiving. I always tell people it's the most calming thing I do because it's just me. You know, when you pull your chute and you're up there in the sunset, it's happening. Nothing else matters in the world. There's no stress. I can just be me. I don't have to worry about how other people are viewing me, what other people think. You know, the list goes on, right? I don't have to post this on Instagram to get likes.
Yeah.
It's just Andrew. And so I would say the big benefit of going unaware, of choosing this ideology of being real and raw, leads to you being yourself. Because you cut the crap. You cut out everything because you're sitting there and it makes you think about what you want to do, where you want to go. What are your dreams? And a lot of people don't think about that. But when I'm sitting here challenging you to say, hey, what's your dream? And you have to sit there and go, I don't know. Maybe this, because this person wanted this. And then you start thinking and your brain starts firing and you get down to that deep level of, I want to do a disc golf channel with Luke. And it unlocks it. And now it's open. And now you know. And that's you.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Biggest benefit of going unaware is becoming yourself. Would you? I don't know.
No, I completely agree with that. Like, when you do something like that, obviously, we've said it before, nothing else matters.
Mm-hmm.
But you matter in that moment. You are thinking about what's going on right now.
Yeah.
What am I doing? You're thinking about you and what you're experiencing and what you want to experience next.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like there's just this sense of clarity. You're like, this is happening. That I don't know how it happened, but we're here and we're experiencing whatever it is that we're experiencing. And there's like a sense of knowing your true self. Like you said, like I enjoy this or I don't enjoy this. Because that's also a possibility.
Like think about you on the disc golf course, Paul.
Yeah.
Like that's you.
Yeah.
It's just when you find those hobbies, when you when you go unaware and try those things that you want to do, you strip out all the things of.
Yeah, because like you said earlier, when you add people,
It's complicated.
What you want kind of goes out the window.
Mm-hmm. And I want to make the distinction is, there is good community and there's a toxic community. Mm-hmm. So if you have people, and me and Paul, I think, are fortunate enough to have people in our lives that don't necessarily push their agenda or make it a toxic way. It's more of, no, what do you want to do? Like, go do it. Oh, that's so awesome. Like, I'm happy for you. And they'll root for you and they'll encourage you. And a lot of times they join in because they want to be with you while you're being yourself. That is beautiful. That is awesome.
But even when you're with them,
it's a little different.
It's still like...
It's a little different.
It's still you experiencing it, but like you're with someone else who's also having...
And you get to share that
similar
memory.
Experience to you. They could be thinking about something completely different, but
you're there
that's
together.
Them.
Mm-hmm.
That's them, and this is you.
Yeah, it's about finding the right people if you're gonna have people. Because if you have the wrong people, bad news. Well, before we wrap up with our final thought, I would love to talk about our sponsor of Project Unaware. And I know I normally say this as a joke, but we have a lot of blogs up there now, and there is
seriously, go check out the blogs.
A lot of real.
There are some
and raw. And Paul recently just wrote one that kind of talked about depression, and I think it'd be a lot applicable to a lot of people, especially as we enter this seasonal depression phase, or even if you struggle with it normally. I felt that when I read it, and I think there's a lot of good stuff there.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously was just writing like what I was experiencing and feeling, and I mean, I got done with it, and I'm like, I kind of like blacked out when I wrote it. I was not aware of what I was actually writing. It just kind of came out like subconsciously. And at the end, I was like, yeah, I feel like a lot of people can relate to this, especially like at this time with the holidays coming up. You might have like family members missing. It's a hard time, and we all go through stuff. The main thing I wanted to say about it was like, you're not alone. You got family. You got friends. We're here. Reach out.
Yeah, if you haven't realized
you're
by
not
now,
alone.
If you reach out, we are more than happy. We love making new friends.
Yeah, we do.
Even if you live in, I don't know, what's the farthest point from here? Like
Australia
or Japan. Like, it doesn't matter who you are, where you're from. We'll be your friend.
Yeah, we will.
And I know that sounds so cheesy, but I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I do not care. I will FaceTime you or whatever. Paul will too.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a hard time for a lot of people, and just, you're not alone in what you're feeling.
Yeah. You're loved though. Remember that. People love you. So yeah, just, I don't know. Go check it out, especially if you're listening to this and you're feeling that. But there's also a bunch of other blogs that talk about, excitement and joy or new places and dreaming, and there's only going to be more content. And I don't even like the word content. It's because it's not just content to put out there. It's
writing.
It's writing from our hearts. It's real and raw, and I mean that. Like, it's not just something I write just to put out. Because I'm busy enough that I can't do that. Like, this is for us to create.
Dude, honestly, when I wrote that blog, I completely forgot that you asked me to write another blog. I was just writing because that's how I was feeling.
And that's what I want it to be. And that's how I want people to relate to it. And, our writing will only get better. And we're only going to, because we're still figuring this thing out. Season 1's all about growing pains and figuring this out.
Growing pains. A great song.
So yeah, I asked that you go check out Project Unaware. I asked that if you find this stuff at all beneficial, I mean, don't get me wrong, we are figuring it out and we are growing. And I think season 2, because this is the second to last episode of season 1. Season 2, we have a lot of big plans and we're excited for it. So just, I don't know. I'm asking you now. Go check out projectunaware.com from your friend, Andrew and Paul. Friends.
Yeah, we want to hear from you.
Yeah. We've gotten a lot of good feedback, but we don't necessarily need feedback. I want to know how you're feeling. I want to know who you are and where you're coming from, and love nothing more than just have a conversation with you.
Yeah.
I mean, these are basically just me and Paul's conversations.
Yeah.
And you're a part of it. So.
We are Project Unaware.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you did there. Inside jokes. Yeah, I mean, check us out on YouTube if you want to see our lovely faces with the podcast, or just, follow and subscribe on the podcast, because it does help with analytics and it does help for us to get sponsors. So, yeah, that's just me asking as a friend.
Yeah.
But to finish up on our last point, I want just to drive home this idea that being going unaware, there are so many benefits to it. The feelings, you try new things, but that big benefit of being yourself, right? I just want to say one final thought. Like yesterday, I was in Oxford, and I was part of Delta Sigma Pi, which is a business frat. And to be honest, I didn't do much in it. Like, I had my people, I loved it, I showed up, I mentored people, sure. But I never, I personally never felt that I went above and beyond the extra mile and whatnot. But the amount of people that I saw yesterday, because I was going to we got a new member in our family, like my little or whatever. I'm old now. And my buddy had asked me to come help him move some stuff and then come to that dinner and whatnot. Luke Feck. You know him. Actually, he was on the podcast, so a lot of people might know him.
Yeah.
And the amount of people that came up to me and were like, dude, you impacted my life. I'm like, I did nothing. And
I don't know you.
well, I know him, but I maybe had 1 or 2 conversations with him.
Yeah.
And, they're coming up and they're just like, dude, I miss you. Like, I miss your presence. I'm just like, what do you mean? And Luke Feck, being my biggest hype man as he is, sat there and he saw me because I'm shooting him down because I try to be humble, and this isn't me even now sitting here like, guys, I'm the greatest. Listen to these stories, but I have a point to this. Luke Feck sat there and goes, Ludi, no. Like, the reason they're coming up to you, the reason is because you're truly yourself. And he goes, as much as it's weird, not a lot of people do that. But because you are who you are, and you say you didn't do anything, but by you not doing anything and being yourself, it did everything. And people radiated towards that. People saw your presence and were influenced and loved that because you were real. You cared about them. You asked how they were doing, and they'd say, okay, you'd ask again, hey, how are you actually feeling? People don't do that, but you do. And I know you always say I'm your biggest hype man, but I don't hype anyone else up. And I say that because that's who you are. You're not fake. You're not just trying to get numbers on social media or whatever. You're you. And I wish more people were like that, but they're not. And so that threw me for a loop. That made me pretty emotional.
Yeah.
Because I was like, Luke, I can't deal with compliments that well. But my point is, don't worry about me. What I want you to get from that is when you are yourself, things happen. People radiate towards you. It's just a better life. Because I had no idea I impacted all those people. Zero clue. Didn't even mean to. Didn't try to. And that's what I get is you don't have to try as much. You don't have to put on this persona or this mask or a nickname when you are who you are. There's a blog about that as well.
Yep. Written by yours truly.
PK. And so just, when you go unaware, it pulls you into being yourself. And that will only draw on people who love you and care for you and help push you towards that as well. And I think that is such an undervalued benefit right there. Like, unbelievable. Like, when you are, it's just, I can't even express it in words, all of the things that happen when you become yourself. And I don't know if I'll ever be able to explain that in words. And we've talked about your switch from Tall Paul to Paul and Mandy and blogs. But there's that feeling.
You just can't put it into words.
You just, as the listener right now, you have to go experience for yourself.
Just be yourself.
Be yourself. And one way of doing that is just go unaware. Well, any final thoughts, Paul, or anything to add to that?
Yeah.
Kind of butchered that. I wasn't able to verbally say what I wanted to say.
Fine,
so I don't know. They can take what they want from that.
No, like I completely agree with that. Like, going unaware lets you be your true self. Like, you're real.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing things that you want to do. You're not doing things because you're being influenced by other people. Well, maybe you are, but you're doing it because you want to do it.
Or you want to be with the people and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, that's a big thing of, like, I talked about in the blog. You don't want other people to influence you because that's not really you being your true self. Like, being your true self is doing what you want to do, doing what brings you joy, what brings you happiness, the whole list of questions. Just be yourself.
Yeah.
Go unaware.
Go unaware.
Be yourself.
All right. Well, that was good.
That was good.
If you guys have any questions, please never hesitate to reach out. We're pretty much open books now. And you're our friends if you listen to this. So even you guys over there in Germany and Scotland. And
Yeah, we appreciate you.
I see you. I see you guys listening to every episode. I appreciate it.
Shout out to them.
Shout out to them. But yeah, next week will be me and Paul celebrating season 1.
Season 1 finale.
And you'll get all the details of when season 2 starts and what you can expect. And
Awesome.
so don't miss out. Tune in. But happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Oh yeah, Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I mean it will be Monday, but
Yeah. Hope you guys had a great holiday with your family.
Yeah. Or good luck. Good luck with Thanksgiving because it's going to be before. Timing these releases. Anyway, all right. Well,
we're just so used to releasing them like months.
I know. All right. Well, we appreciate all you guys and girls listening in, and just go do something unaware this week. Be yourself. That's our challenge.
Yep.
Because why not? All right.
Go get a tattoo.
Yeah, if you want. If you don't know what you want to do and you want to do something random and spontaneous, DM us.
Rock climb.
Go
disc golfing.
That's all called.
Learn how to play the guitar.
Do anything you've always wanted to do.
Build something. I don't know.
All right. Well, have a wonderful rest of your day or night whenever you're listening to this. We love you, and we'll see you next week. Sleaze.
Sleaze.